Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D 4X game creation. This is a game that is inspired by a variety of different 4X games. I've been saying 2D 4X games. It just dawned on me. It's not always 2D games that they're inspired by. Mine is just going to be 2D because I feel like, all that's necessary. I don't need some, amazing maps. These better than these, but these are okay. Um, but it's open source. I've been learning as I go Godot and C Sharp. I originally started in Unity, switched over when Unity became a bunch of asshats. Uh, so what are we working on today? Yesterday we actually accomplished like a ton of shit. At some point in the good old days, which was like 3 weeks ago, this I clicked some button and it reorganized these. It like sorted these and it was a fucking disaster. So I kind of went through these some and kind of cleaned them up, and I noticed we didn't have like a top bar one, so I created that, or there was a top bar one, but it wasn't right, and so I just fixed some things, and it actually took me a really long time this morning. Okay, like 30 minutes I spent on it. Uh, but what I'm hoping to do today is get kind of through this final population AI, and then we can move on to the next thing. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that, but we're going to try. I only got 3 hours. I only stream for 3 hours, and I try to do all work on this while I'm streaming. It's not 100%, but it's like 99% of the work I've done on this has been streaming. Uh, so that means this is the 140th. They're about 3 hours long, so like 420, 420 hours. A lot of boring streams. You should go watch them all. 420 hours of me trying to figure out how to program. Anyways, so it looks like the first thing we got on our list. So in progress, we have the population. We're gonna merge it to main too, and we should work on localization more, and I should make that a priority. Did I even set up this stuff? I can't remember. Oh, I did. So this should be a priority, is every time we see anything, we start localizationing it. That's a real word. Uh, so we're going to keep that in my mind. Idle workers need to be ran more frequently. What that is yesterday I noticed that when you're looking at this is idle. This number's right, but it doesn't change all the time. Like right now, it should have changed. Well, actually, we're just checking the current activity, so it shouldn't have changed yet. Did I fix this yesterday? I don't think so. I think we're having it just check this. Yeah, so now they kicked off at 5 o'clock. They kicked off? Yeah, that's not right. Yeah, see, it checked. For them to be idle, they need to be idle for their current activity and their next activity. Just ignore this person because this is a hero. They're special. But maybe we do just want it to be idle. It just checks their current day is idle. I think that might be a better option. Let's find where we're doing this. Check for idle. It's currently just their next activity is idle. Go through everyone, and if they're idle, add them to the possible. Oh no, this is a different thing. I was gonna say, I thought I looked at this yesterday. We're in like the workers part. We don't want to be in here. Count idle workers. This is where we were having what's this? We need the banker. The banker is like our accountant, and I should have called it. The current activity is idle and next activity is idle. I should have called it the accountant script. I think this should just be, I flip-flop on this all the time, but I think it should just be if their current activity is idle, they're set as idle. That would solve some problems here. When is it running, though? I think it's not running enough beyond that thing. Idle's good in this game. You want your people to be idle. All right. This number's right, but it's just because it starts out as that. So 5 o'clock should roll around. Everyone's still idle. The next day should kick in here. And now we have 2 idle workers. Why are they... Whoops. Why are they idle? This person's unhelpful, and this person's unhelpful. This is like a perk they can get where they don't help. They just laze about. So that's right. Let's let it run for a minute and see if that just solved all of our problems. Let's speed it up though. Okay, so now we have 10 idle workers. Okay, so they do, so we changed it yesterday. So every other day when they're set to this scavenge, this is like they go idle. So they don't scavenge all the time. It's an every other day thing. So basically this will flop about, maybe we do want it idle, like both of them, because that means that they're long-term idle. Let's put that back. Like I said, I flip-flop on this thing. Did I click this? Oh, I didn't do my test. I always do a test now on YouTube to make sure that I can see the posts, because sometimes I can't, and I just got to make sure. I think that this idle on both, that will be more indicative of them being idle for real. So that means that when we start the game, so I guess like I said, I keep flip-flopping. That means when we start the game here, this is right, because they're... Uh-oh, we got a bug. What? Oh, is this that weird handle thing? So this is a bug I haven't been able to figure out what... It only happens every once in a blue moon. And it only happens when the game's been running in the background. But like if I restart it, it probably won't happen again. Well, who knows? So let's see here. We should have 2 idle people, and it didn't update. No, we shouldn't. Yeah, no, we should. We should have 2 idle people. So when the game starts, let's run this again. No, yeah, when the game starts, it fires off this thing. Where's my clock? So the first run is an event just for when you start the game and it's paused. And then hour 0, it runs. So we need to find hour 0 here and see, not there. Adjust activity. We did this. So it should, on hour 0, it should be counting the idle workers right off the bat. And then here, county data idle workers equals idle workers. Okay, so the problem isn't that, okay, let's go to here. Oh, I have it as an event. Okay. That's fine. So we have this idle workers changed. This gets updated. It's going to evoke this. Let's look at the top bar. Or no, it's not the top bar. It's the county info control here. The county info control should be subscribing. Huh. It's going to have to subscribe to a lot of events. Oh, okay. So when when this visibility is true, it's subscribing to idle workers changing, and it's updating idle worker label. This is really old code. This is back when what the fuck is this? Currently selected county data idle workers to string. Why is there a space here? Let's see. I feel like this is not happening. Even though we just followed the trail, the breadcrumb trail. We might have to rewrite a bunch of shit here to get this to work right. Maybe. So this should have checked. I guess we can look for idle. Workers. What did that say? Update idle. So this didn't happen. Oh, I don't have anything selected. Okay. So when this turns on, it should also. None of these people should be idle at this point. When this opens up, when I click on this, this should have updated this idle workers thing. So let's look at this. That's the county info control. Do we have an on visibility change? It just subscribes to this. Which is nice for other things, but it needs to update it. It also needs to update it. Where was that thing? Was the banker that's counting stuff? Yeah. So maybe that's one of the problems. So we can subscribe. I guess we'll leave that thing in there. So we need a new banker equals new, and then banker update idle. What's your problem? Oh, count idle workers. We don't want to count them. We want to update the county info. Do I have this? That was it. What was it? That right down here at the bottom. Update hero info. Update idle workers. Yeah. Back to this. We don't need this. Update idle workers label. Whoops, I hit tab in there for some reason. I was about to tell a story about how I read something on Reddit, and then it dawned on me that when people, when you tell a story about something that you've read on Reddit, it's not very good. Okay, so I clicked on that, and it did it twice. But there should have been. This is wrong still. So I think what we want to do is down in this update thing. I think this whole thing is kind of a cluster here. we're going to put the banker thing here. Banker, new equals new. And then we'll do an int idle workers equals banker count idle workers. I think that's we need a county data in here. So that's going to be the county. No, this is going to be globals.instance.currently selected county data. What's your problem? Void to int. So this is not returning anything. This just, oh, it just sets the, and then when this thing is set, this is very convoluted. When this thing is set, since it's a getter setter, it updates the idle workers changed, which goes back to our, man, this is like a big gigantic loop. So it does idle workers changes, it invokes that, and then we go back to our county info panel, and then our county info panel updates the label. Okay, so what we need to do instead, this is very convoluted. I think I should rewrite this whole thing. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. We would put this underneath here, and we would just tell it banker equals new, and then it would just count it, and the event would cause this to happen. This is very bizarre. Like I said, it's a big loop. So originally I was gonna do idle workers differently, and then I kind of like put them in the back burner because it's not that important. So that's right. And it did it twice for some reason. But this is still up. Yeah, this is too bizarre. This is bizarre. And it doesn't work. It's bizarre and it doesn't work. So this is going to happen on it. If we probably go back, I bet you. No, it still doesn't work. How are we counting the idle workers? I thought we just looked at that. Where are you, banker? Where'd you go? Oh, I put it at the top because I was working on it. I don't think this is very efficient. Do we care? I guess we kind of do. So if their next activity in this, they should be idle. We're clicking through here, and it's not updating it right. This should say at this point, one person. We don't care about the hero. Just clicking on this should do it. And it's probably every time I click on this, yeah, it's putting a thing in here. I think this is probably just some bad old code. So we put this in the banker, which works nice. We need to pass in a county data. A lot of times it's easier just to pass in a county, and then the county is part of the county data. So let's change this to a county, and then we'll change this to a county data, and this will be county population. Yeah, this isn't very efficient, but it's the way we're going to do it, sort of. And we have this getter setter that's fired. Population AI adjusts. Okay, so this happens every morning. Every morning, this should run, and it goes through every county does this. So this is good. We want, then every county will know its number of idle workers. Every morning it will update that after it adjusts this. So that's fine. This is the thing that I just did and that doesn't work. Why do I need to subscribe to this? It seems strange. Why don't I just do this? Oh, wait. Yeah, let's get rid of this weird shit. This will count on visibility change. When you open this county info panel, it's going to count the idle workers. And then if we go back to our globals, can't I just do this? Currently selected. You know, there is this weird. There's two different spots that are being assigned for currently selected county. There's currently selected county, then there's some other weird one, like called like selected county, and I was like, why is there two of these? And it's a problem. So we have currently selected county, and where was the other one? I don't even know where it went. Maybe I was reading something wrong. Selected left click county is the other one. So, and this is a county. And the other one's a county. Yeah, this is a part of the problem. So let's fix this. So part of that's in the player controls. There should be only one of these current. Well, I hope. I want to look at the player controls. What am I looking for here? Scripts. Just normal old scripts. They are under player controls. Is it doing something? Here we go. Yeah. Oh, they're both getting updated. I wonder why I have them different. Like, what would be the point of? And I asked this question before. Then we have a right-click one. So I think I'd rather have it called selected left-click county, because there is a right-click county thing. So let's get rid of this. And then we're going to have probably so many issues, though. Where are we using this one besides here? Joker, how's it going? Okay, what is this crap? Okay, so for counting the storage, we're using the left-click one for some reason. Assign resources to storage, we're using the left-click. All of the storage is using the left-click one. What is this? Update top bar with counting. This is also storage. I don't know if they're problems. This is a weird thing. It's definitely, I guess this is a problem, but we're gonna get through this, hopefully. It's weird that this is all left click. Or all storage, except for this one. except for this one thing. But then we're going to go for clean it. We have just a few last things to fix for the county population AI before. Well, add, fix, both. Oh, look at this. Okay, no, this is not what I. All right, selected county. I gotta skip this song. I've heard it too many times. I know you guys can't hear it. It was a Dead Kennedy song. I don't know. I really don't know why there's two of these. What is the currently selected county? See, and the thing is it's like they're just okay. We just have to combine them and then deal with the consequences. That's what we have to do. So let's go back to this player control. And I think I like left click better. So we're gonna stick with left click. Where'd my player controls go? Um, we're gonna keep this one. And we're gonna go back to our globals. And we're gonna rename this, if it will let me, to, what was that other one called? Selected left click county. And then it's going to bug out. Then we're going to rename this. We're going to get rid of this one. We're going to rename this to a capital S. Then we're going to go rename this to a lowercase selected left click county. And then I think that's okay. This just needs a county. Basically, I'm finding old code that just is, I don't know, it's just not how it should be. This is definitely going to cause some bugs, though. Adding and fixing. Hopefully, it's always going to be adding and fixing, never going back. I was expecting that to bug out, but it didn't. It didn't bug out. Why aren't we getting bugs? It's because they were just like duplicates. Okay, so I guess that's fine. So back to the idle workers thing. When we count the idle workers, we could just put in a little thing here. Do we have a top bar control? We don't really have. Update top bar with count. Oh, not top bar. We need county info. Update everything. What is this say? So what we'll do is we'll get rid of this. And we'll just say if globals instance selected Oh, wait. No, that's not going to work. So this is in the county data. Maybe that's why I was subscribing. But the problem is subscribing to all those. Well, yesterday, man, everything was working as intended. I had 3 hours planned out, and I was done in like 15 minutes, and I was like, huh. So what we want to do here is when this updates, this is county data, um, equals this. Whoops, I got it wrong thing. Then we update the top bar. I know this should be different, but or not the top bar. Jesus Christ, the county info control. So this would take care of if it's selected. But then we also need it. Actually, let's see what happens. Did I save that? Yes. That's one of the things. You're like, why is my shit working? It's because you never saved it. Well, but this is null. Oh, it's this. I think I need a question mark in there. That's the new thing I'm trying to learn is when to put these question marks. I think that's what I do. Okay, so it's gonna null check that. We click this. There's 10 idle workers. That's true. We unclick this now that it should have changed. So that didn't work. So when is it counting those? It should be counting them right at the beginning. Right after here is it should be counting every one of these. That would be no, that would be bad. Well, I guess I don't know. It'd be weird. So adjusts county population should be firing here. And we know that it is. And we know that this is. So this goes to count idle workers. This updates all of the idle workers should be updated at this point because it's going through every county and updating them. Then when the idle workers updates under county data, if it equals this, it should update the resource. This thing. Is this a big loop? Let's do this. I mean, whoops. Let's do this. I want it to bug out if it's... Maybe it's not counting these right. Let's look at this. Maybe it's like the way I think it's counting, it's not counting them. That was another banker. I mean, I looked at this like twice. Idle workers is 0. For each person in county data, county population list, if their current activity equals idle and their next activity equals idle, so this should be 1. Idle workers plus plus. Idle workers is assigned to that. It should happen like immediately, and it's not. I wonder if that's happening after. No, it should be. So this should be right. And then the minute we unpause it, we should hit that hour 0 thing. And it's not. And this should be pulling directly from current and scavenge. This person likes to do labor. Why the fuck isn't this working? When I first messed with idle workers, I started work on it, and it was a big pain in the ass, and it didn't really matter, and it still doesn't really matter. Adjust population activity. If oh, this is hero stuff. Count idle workers comes at the end of this, and this should fire a bunch of times. And we know it's working because it's putting the thing. Actually, do we know it's working? Because this thing, let's make sure that this is hour 0. This should be being fired in the county script. It's subscribing hour 0, hour 0. Hour 0 is running, and it's putting in this thing. I have an idea. Idle workers updates. Why didn't you update? Plus, no, we don't want it. We do want it in here. Plus idle workers. This is more like it. Yesterday, it was just too easy. Everything was so easy. But now we got some real challenges here. Why didn't you update? 10, 10. So like the minute I pushed that, it should have, the minute I unpaused it, why didn't you update? See, this is the problem with this sorting, is you need the context or the filter. Why didn't you update? It's almost like this is in the wrong spot. So adjust their activity. This should change all of their activity. Wait, maybe I have it. Maybe I have like or in here. No, it is and. Damn it. Idle and idle. I need to figure out a way to do this, to test this. That's better than my current way of testing this, which is this and this needs to be. Wonder if I found some other. No, there's something weird going on. Let's double check the banker. Next, current. Just make sure I don't have like current and current in there. Idle. I feel like it's. Where was that county thing? So it passes this in and it says hour 0 under the population AI. This seems like this should be working. And we know, actually, we don't know. Adjust county GD print, whoops. Count, whoops. Squigs county dot name. No, county data dot name. I mean, that would have worked, but is adjusting their population activity. I literally was thinking, I haven't run into a bug that's like I've just been baffled by in a long time. Like, when I say a long time, I mean like 3 weeks. But this one, we found it. So basically, when I unpause that, it should have. Before it does any of that stuff, I don't think it's actually doing that. No, there it is. Cowlitz is adjusting. Tillamook is adjusting. Douglas is adjusting. Portland is the one we care about. So Portland has adjusted their population. So this counting should have happened. So if we go back to our count, or to our banker here one more 1,000th time. So if we go to count idle workers in our county data, once again, we're just flopping back and forth over here. Return idle workers. This is a private int. Idle workers. I don't have any weird capitals. GD print idle workers plus idle workers with a lowercase. There we go. Why does this says like a new thing? And then if this is not null in county data, it updates this script. We don't need this. We can leave it there for now. Let's see. Oh, we gotta... Is this that stupid thing again? It is. I don't know what that is. And it just goes away sometimes. I don't know. Joker, are you still in chat? If so, do you know what this is? I've Googled it many a time and have found nothing. It doesn't happen every time. It just happens every once in a blue moon. All right, so we should get, the minute I unpause it, idle workers is 10. But it shouldn't be 10. That's the thing. They should all be scavenging at this point. Maybe it's not, maybe it's happening too slowly or too fast. Maybe this thing, I think this is in the wrong spot. Where the hell is this thing? This is under population AI. This sure seems like it's in the right spot. But let's copy this and let's put it over here. We're going to need a banker. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, so the first day it runs, it moves over the next activity, which is idle. Then it checks for work. So this would actually have to be down here. So at the end of check for work, where's check for work? It's this big long thing. That's when we need to count this. I mean, we need to count it in both spots. No, we don't. We just need to count it after it checks for work because it assigns their next things. All right, so that's the issue. Let's move this down to the bottom of check for work, and this will need a banker. Banker equals new. So this is, it's after, so after it moves their activity, then it checks their, adjusts their activity, then it checks for work, which assigns their next activities. And we need this in this order. We can't put check for work first because it needs to have already moved their shit from the next day to the, all right, so this is the problem, I'm pretty sure. It's after it checks for work. Also about this bug, if you see this, if you watch this on YouTube and you know what that bug is, tell me. Like I said, it only happens, I think it has something to do with subscribing and unsubscribing to events or signals, but I don't know. Let's unpause it. Then let's look in here. See these, oh no, these are all 10s. 10s and 6s and shit. They shouldn't be that. Oh wait, everyone's idle. Why is everybody idle? Oh, there it went. You're telling me I didn't give enough time? 1, 2. That's weird. Let's do this again. Maybe on the first day. I think the first day it does it on hour 1, actually, not 0. I thought it did it on minute 1, but I actually think it's hour 1. So yeah, now we're on hour 1. This place has 0. Everyone's scavenging. All right, so that solved that problem, but then let's put in a county improvement and just see what happens here. So we have 1. one idle person. We need to speed this up, though. I wonder if we should start on day 1. Everyone is scavenging still. We have a different issue then. I put in a county improvement, so they should have... Okay, here we go. Except it shouldn't have had them scavenging 2 days in a row. They're supposed to do it every other day now. They all went idle. What is this afternoon stuff? Yeah, they should be scavenging every other day. Let's see at 5 o'clock here. So this... Okay, that's a bug. We found some bugs. This is actually under county improvements, but we'll put it right here. Build after 5 p.m. shows the wrong... it shows just build without the county improvement name. That's going to be kind of a pain in the ass to fix, because one of the rules we set up was we don't adjust our current activity. We only adjust our next activity. So that might be something, a rule we might have to get rid of. I see all sorts of weird shit happening here, though. One idle worker? That's true. There is only one idle worker. So this is now their current activity for this day. They're off for 1 day, then they're back to working on workers' sheds and scavenging and stuff. And now they're working. And then, but they did get a day off. Maybe I just didn't look at it right. We want the scavengers only to do it every other day now. It's not like they would need to build a building to work every day on that stuff. That's kind of the point. Now that I thought about that yesterday. All right, so we were doing this after one thing has happened. We're all set for scavenge. So on day 1, everyone's scavenge should move over because there's nothing to be built. I guess I could speed this up. There we go, 5 o'clock. Nothing has happened because they're all idle. That's good. Morning has come. They're all set to scavenge for this day. And then tomorrow it says they're set for scavenge as well. I bet you after 5 o'clock it turns off their scavenge. So that's the problem there. Yeah, so then after 5 o'clock it sets their next activity is idle. So that's wrong. And their current activity is scavenge. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to get rid of that rule. G-Key, how's it going? I am making a post-apocalyptic 4X game that I'm trying to get these people to do their jobs at the correct times and dates, and it's off. It's kind of off. It's sort of off. No, it's just off. Wow, we got some. So I think I have to rethink how we do this. At 5 o'clock, they get off work. Lord Mac, how's it going? Also, G-Key, how's it going? I don't think I asked how you were doing. So at 5 o'clock, we're going to have to change this rule of what happens. They would be idle. Okay, so if at 5 o'clock we set them to idle, we set everybody to idle when they're done working, it would reassign their jobs every day, which actually isn't the end of the world. Then we would have to move check for work ahead of the thing where it moves things over, though, because otherwise it's going to move over their next day thing. This idle worker thing opened a can of worms here. Maybe we can get rid of this thing. Lord Mac, I added a new category this morning. It's way over here. Way over here. Okay, it's not that far. I added an espionage category and added that suggestion from yesterday, and then this was an older suggestion. I figured we needed to, when I got to the espionage part, so let's say they're off after 5 p.m. What will that affect? Espionage is not a skill currently. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't think it's going to be like a straight up spy skill. It'll probably be a variety of other skills. I don't know. All right, so if at 5 p.m. when they're done working, so wait, let's rerun this. What happened at 5 p.m.? That's not. There's something weird with the 5 p.m. thing, because that's the current day. Zero. Okay, so this is set up for the next day. And let's speed this up to 5 p.m. here. So 5 p.m. nothing happened this day, and then in the morning everything gets moved over. And these guys are still set to scavenge for the next day though. I think at 5 p.m. is when it changes their thing. And I don't think that's what we actually want. Yeah, it changes their next day to idle at 5 p.m. And then in the morning, it's going to roll them all over to idle. But then it checks their next day for scavenging. So that's somewhat right. I think so. This is back to the problem with having people stop working at 5 p.m. This is the day that they were idle, their next day, instead of doing like a daily thing. So this is setting both their next thing gets copied over. But this should actually be idle. Oh, definitely. The espionage will definitely be a through, not spies creeping around with ski masks on in the dark. I think this is the perfect time for me to grab a smoke, though. If it sets their current day as idle, is it even doing that, though? This guy, I gotta look at 5 p.m. here. It shouldn't be doing that. It's not. But maybe we do want it to do that. It's going to be confusing though. Like as the player, if you happen to just click on your population, you're going to be like, why are all these people idle at 5 o'clock? You know, it happens to be 6 o'clock, and you look and be like, everybody's idle. But then their next activity would show that they would continue working on that place. Yeah, exactly. And I was trying to remember that word, that Russian word for compromising information. Cryptomets. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, that too. So you can like blackmail people, like whatever the Russians have on Trump, his P tape or whatever. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go smoke real quick, and then I will be back in less than 5 minutes. And I think I gotta rethink how this whole thing works, sort of, not kind of, and just make it more standardized. Either they're set all day to their task, or they stop at 5 o'clock. Their task is stopped at 5 o'clock. But because we got to remember overtime, the plan of putting overtime in eventually. Anyways, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I looked at my cat. He's like really sleeping over there. He doesn't care if I talk, but if I was to play music, if he could hear my music, he wouldn't like that, but man, he's deeply sleeping. Um, really deeply sleeping. I was gonna show this video yesterday and I forgot about it. Uh, let me see if I can find it. I figured out how we're gonna do this too. Let's see if it uploaded to my cloud. Here, let's mute this though. This is a raccoon in my backyard. It looks so shaky. Look at that little guy. Look at this dumbass though. Man, that pole looks disgusting. Needs some cleaning. It looks like it's falling apart too. Oh, so I found a dead raccoon in my backyard, and I think it like fell out of a tree and died or something, or died of some disease, you know. Um, and this is why I think that they die, is because they always go down head first. Everything they go down every tree, everything head first. There he is. That's the end of the video. He just wanted some food. Anyways, yeah, I've upset the nature in my backyard. They're quite bold these days. Uh, anyways, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of the 5 p.m. thing. It just dawned on me that there's a better way to do this. Let's put some notes in this though. I think I have a work category. Actually, we'll put it under population AI for the next round because this is not that important. Oh, I have job loyalty and then another thing, faction loyalty. Let me edit this real quick. This has nothing to do with what we were talking about, but I saw that. Okay. What we'll do, since people are set to work 24 hours, bonuses for overtime and shift work. Let's put some more notes in this though, because this is how it's going to work, I think. We'll do so if people work overtime, then the amount produced would be 1.5x, but with some sort of negative to skill checks or something like that. With shift work, then the building would just be able to have more workers. Okay, this is how we'll do this. We're not going to do it this round. No, they're not going to be. There's not going to be a tiredness. That's too much like Rimworld-esque, you know. And eventually, there's going to be a bazillion people. So how we're going to do this then, I think, is we'll have an hour zero. We'll check the work. We'll finish the work first. We're currently, yeah, we said work day over for population. This is under work. So we'll put this first. And it's going to be more related to their happiness. So once again, being idle makes you happy in this game. Unlike every other game. So you want your population to be sitting around, you know, and not starving, obviously. So let's see here. So where am I doing this thing? We still want this. We just want it in a different spot. We're gonna have this fired. Let's find out where we want to get rid of these. I think this is also in county. Yeah, yeah, it is. And so we have this 5 o'clock thing. We'll just get rid of this. And we can actually go back to the clock and just get rid of the thing in the clock, and then we'll get a bunch of errors. Oh, no, we won't get a bunch of errors because these are events. Workday over, though. We can get rid of this. What is this crap? I don't know what that is. Research test? What does this do? Oh, this just prints. Oh, and this is where all that printing is coming from. Get out of here. Before bed. I wonder if we're using this anywhere. Before bed. Did I not save my clock? I did this in research. Why aren't we getting an error from this clock thing? I just deleted work. Oh, you know what? I didn't delete it up here though. Let's get rid of this. Before bed, we'll also get rid of, and we're gonna combine those. Well, so each day that you work, it will reduce your loyalty, but to a point. Not every day, because then you would, within 30 days, everyone would be unhappy and wanting to kill you. But in fact, I probably won't reduce your happiness every day you work, but you get a bonus to happiness to not work. Okay, so this, we can get rid of this. We can actually, let's just get rid of this whole thing. I remember doing this now, and it was, let's get rid of that. Hour changes for war. Let's put a note on this. This is currently used for battles. And then I wonder if we'll get a bunch of bugs. We shouldn't. Workday over, we can get rid of here. And then apply hero. Okay, we're gonna need to, I'm gonna leave these bugs here because we gotta Cium Vancenzo, how's it going? We're gonna get rid of these, but I'm gonna leave these here so that I know to fix it. Then back to work, we're gonna put this in our county thing. So this is gonna run in the first hour, and then when things get lagged out, we'll just break this apart. We need a new work in here. Work equals new. What order should this be in? Check for building. What is this? County. Check for building improvements. Population AI hour 0. Actually, I want this in the population AI. This is getting kind of convoluted. Where'd you go, population AI? Pin you. Where am I from? Originally, I was born in San Diego, but I live in Oregon now. So this, how about you? Should be where we want work. And this is bad, I think. We should probably get rid of work, actually, and put it all in this population AI. Then we need a county. There we go. This is going to be really throw things, a wrench into things. So it's going to do this first. We'll get all of our generated crap completed in the scavenging. Complete building per person. Check for work complete. Give idle people bonus happiness, which we haven't done anything with that yet. Happiness with a Y or an I. It's with an I. Give people bonus happiness with an I. Okay, so that should fire at the correct time now, but this is a dumb name. We should probably rename this to, like, calculate. Well, we'll just leave it like that for now. We can name it something else later. Okay, we don't need this. This is under county, wherever county went. Oh, I'm on county. This is old now. And we can get rid of those subscriptions. So all we're going to do is check for building improvements before. So we have these all set up. And then we're going to do the population AI, which is going to be the work day is over. We'll put a space here. And then it will check for new work. Let's go back to our research here. We were having the research, apply hero research and population research. What does this do? Oh, right. This should be in work. You know what? We can do it this way, but that means we got to blow up this research thing. When does this happen? All right, so this needs to be broken into two different spots. See, I see the question marks. I don't know what you're question marking about. Workday over. So one of these is a county thing, and one of these is a faction thing. So we have this happening in hour 0. Where's our faction AI that I created recently? There it is. It's way over here for some reason. Check for thoughts. Check for first thoughts. And then check for building improvements. Check for first thoughts. Decide hero action. This is very strange as well. So we only have this. This should say day. Instead, we should check every time a county improvement is done being built. Check for, so this is the faction level. Let's move these around, actually. Let's move this over to here. Let's move this population ID. What? Up. Get in here. Oh, it's not pinned. Let's move you over here. God damn it. Pin you. There we go. So it looks like what I did here. This, I think, we got rid of yesterday. So let's get rid of this and this. And we'll rename this to thoughts. So every day it's going to decide to the hero if the hero is going to do research. But I think what I'm kind of talking about here is is, let me check something on here real quick. Close my Gmail. Let's see here. This was kind of strangely done too. And this is somewhat recent. We don't want this every day. I see what what I'm doing here. And so we want to check every time a county improvement is done being built, but no. Okay, so this is like this is wrong. This too. So what basically it's doing, we don't want this to run. We don't want it to be checking the heroes every day and then like reassigning them. What is this even doing? It just immediately assigns the hero to the first, and it's just like manually assigning the first research. So this is very, very primitive. This is very primitive logic. Pretty useless. I think this is like almost just, yeah, that's bad. So the problem with this is we have two issues here. I'm glad I put that note for the other thing. We're going to have this. We're going to rename this actually. Check for research for hero. Well, it's all research. We're going to have this check for research. We're going to decide hero action. We're going to assign this. I'm just going to rename this. I can tell what I did here is I named it so that it would apply to future stuff. Like so we could make it when we got the logic better. But what it's doing is just being confusing right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to not have it. It's just going to do this. That's not true either. So let's do that. I can just get rid of all this crap. And we'll put a note on here. No, we'll put a note on here. We'll put a note in both places. They should check for research again once their research is done. Actually, once they should check for research again if they are idle. We could have this run every day and check. The better way to do it, though, is like instead of checking all the time every day for that, they could just check when they become idle. So let's put this also here so that I see it. So back to this whole point, though, was to have the faction AI. We had this research thing that was firing. Apply hero research needs to be done. This does need to be done every day. So we do need to go back to here, and we do need to put in the clock thing. It doesn't need to be, it can't be done on the first thing. So hour 0, not hero 0, hour 0. We'll call this, what did I call it over here? Apply hero research, I guess. And then we'll do this. And then we will go, that was under work. No, that was under, we need a new, oh, I was going to have to blow up this research thing. So let's save this. Let's go blow up this thing. Research, you got to go. You got to go. this isn't going to work, but I want to leave that there so I don't forget. This is going to be a public class. The system can go. We actually can't have this here, so I guess I'll comment this out, and I'll comment this out. I'm going to blow up stuff here. And look at all these messages. Let's see. We can close this thing. Then if this is now a public class, we would go researcher box checked. We would go a new research, new research equals new. We don't need this other thing at the end. I wish it wouldn't do that. Then we would go research. And then we got to do one other thing here. We have a research thing somewhere here, this thing. And you need to be deleted. Otherwise, we'll get that weird bug. And got a lot of things open. I only like two rows here. We probably don't need the county dictator. So then back to the faction thing, we're going to need a research equals new research apply hero research. I think this is probably private or something. Population research public. What is this each faction? Yeah, this is now wrong. This is going to go like this. We need a faction data that comes through, though. And then we're also going to need increase researchers research. We'll get back to this. We should have more issues, though, than like this thing. Well, we got to put this to county AI. So then this should now be... Oh, except I have a typo in here. Were we passing a faction data? I think we were. Then that should apply here. I don't like that these are always the same name. I keep doing that because I have old code or whatever. I don't really like that very much. And this should probably... Oh, yeah. Is that from StarCraft? This is wrong too, because this is firing. Oh, you know what? It's not wrong if it's... Oh, okay, I see the problem here. Didn't I move this to the faction node? All right, we got to change that too then. Yeah, the faction node should be doing this stuff now. Okay, and the faction AI should be also a public class now. Except it has a faction data assigned to it. Yeah. I played a little bit of StarCraft 20 years ago, I feel like. How are we doing these other ones? Yeah, they don't have anything in here. So this should... God, I gotta skip this song. It's awful. You guys can't hear it, but it was bad. All right. So since we're doing all of this, let's pin this as well. Oh, it already is pinned. So we're gonna put this faction here. We're gonna put county here. We're gonna rename this from faction node though, just to faction, because faction node sounds dumb at this point. So let's rename faction to, whoops. The joy, that was one of one of my prime things that I complain about in Godot is that I hit rename and it automatically jumps up to the top. We're gonna get rid of this. Wait, no, on faction we're keeping this. We're getting rid of this though. And then when this thing gets created, it should... Oh, I should have renamed that. This should be faction. Let's rename this. Because it gets generated in the faction generation. Faction. Now, I've made so many changes, I know I forgot something. You know, I used to watch videos on YouTube with StarCraft. It was like they were like cheese videos where people won not tournaments, whatever, competitions. No, they weren't competitions. Battles, and by cheesing. Okay, this is now called faction. We can pin this. And they were kind of funny. And then like sports announcer type people announcing the cheese matches. There we go. Matches is a good word. All right, so let's go back through how this works since I just blew up a bunch of crap. This is what we need to change to a public class. This is no longer a thing. And this needs to be moved over, if it isn't already, to our faction nodes. Oh yeah, we were having some issues with this. It looks like we already have a hour. So then we'll put our node. What did I just delete here? Apply hero research. This will be in here, but we'll get rid of this. We'll move this first run up to here. I suddenly forgot how to do that. There we go. This is going to be under research. This has got to go. Check for research, assign research. These are the same. We can get rid of this. Apply hero research. How are we doing this here? This can go, but I need it here to remember. So the problem with this faction AI is that it's so primitive at this point that it only has this thing. This needs to be like this now though. And we need this to be, this can't be static anymore, I'm almost positive. And then we need a faction data to come across. So it's going to go through each faction. It's going to subscribe to events. It's weird that this had to be, the other ones didn't have to be this way. So on day start, on first run, we don't want the generate hero leader influence, which is why that's here, why it's different. But do we really give a shit? It's like 5 points. It doesn't matter. So we could just put this here. And we'll see if this matters. So first run, it's going to do that, and it will generate some leader influence. It doesn't matter. And then we need to have a research in here. And I think what we want to do is have apply hero research under research. And then we'll pass in this thing's faction ID. I think so. There now it's getting confusing though, because there's work public class and there's a research public class. The work public class I'm almost tempted to get rid of and move it into the county AI or whatever. So this apply hero research. Oh, that's that thing. Where was that? Faction AI. We don't need this thing at all. We're getting rid of like a ton of code all of a sudden, which I know I love, but sometimes it worries me. All right, then this thing we need to have public. Nope. Yes, we need to have public void assign, and then back over to here on day start. So this is going to happen every day. Maybe we do want a separate first run thing. Right now we'll just have it. Well, it's gonna cause some issues, but we'll do a new. What we need to do though is have in here if county population activity current activity is equal to all enums idle, because otherwise it's gonna reassign this every day. Yeah, so this is pretty useless, but I guess that's what we're going with right now. So under the faction thing, we're gonna do we're gonna need a faction AI faction AI. Did I call it factions AI? I did. We're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that. Let's close this. And this is actually now a public class. And we'll generate, each time it's needed, it will just be generated. And then we're gonna fuck up a bunch of stuff here. We're gonna rename, well, I gotta open that again and rename it. Faction AI, what? Rename faction AI. Okay. And then, how was I doing? Oh, it's because it's subscribed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Assign research. We'll fix all these messages here in a second, too. That was 40 minutes. At the beginning of the stream, I was like, I think I'm going to try to get through all of these things down to here. We're on this top one. It just caused a bunch of things that needed to be updated and changed. um, this has to go to County AI. So let's see. What was I doing before I confused myself by renaming this? This is now needs to go over here. And this is the only faction logic we currently have is this assigning research. So, and then that's going to go back to here. We have a new, this is like a node. These counties are nodes too. And they subscribe to the time. And this is every county will do this. So that means we're going to have like 500 of these subscriptions. But then under here, apply hero research, factions, faction AI, assign research. I think we want this last. And we're probably going to get a bunch of bugs because I don't think I put any checks in this for like if they weren't researching. So the banker will generate the influence, the research will generate that, and then this will assign the research at the end of the, at the beginning, well, it's the beginning of the day. Then back to what we were doing originally, we also, yeah, so this is going to happen like before, at 0 o'clock, but before everything else happens. So that might be okay how it is. Let's go look back at our county thing, though. So the county thing, what we need to check is this hour 0 on our population. So every county is going to run this population AI. And this should be workday over for population. See, I've fixed some things, but now we're back to like a different type of convoluted spaghetti crap here. So we need to fix this as we go. So workday over for population is going to do this under work. So now we're back over here to work. It's going to complete the scavenging. It's going to complete the building. It's going to check for work complete. It's going to give the idle people their happiness, which doesn't do anything yet. So I think we're okay. When I say okay, population research, this should go to county. Should it, though? Should it go to county? Get rid of this. What does the population AI do? Now I'm like, it's checking for per person. So this is like on the per person level, counties on the county level, and factions on the faction level. The problem is some of this stuff on the county level is firing. Okay, I take that back. It just checks for improvements. Man, the population level. So this would be, the fuck is that? I think this should actually go to, where are we in? We're in research. I think this should be fine. Except, yeah, I need to reorganize this whole thing. It's all a mess now. I mean, it was more of a mess before, but it went from 100% mess to 70% mess. For each county, this could go, this could go, this is a public void now. And then we need to pass in a county. Then what we'll do, since this is research, on the county level, should apply every morning. And it's going to apply, see, this is where it gets really, it runs this every day, but it jumps over to population AI. It should be in here, honestly. And it should be, let's go back to the county level, because we need it to run in every county, at the county level. And what we'll do is we will put in, we also need to update this research. This is the research, it's actually on my list. Oh, we do a skill check though. Increase research or research. Oh, that's apply, that's a different thing. We aren't doing a skill check in here. Currently manually set to the second research. Oh, this is dumb too. We got to figure out how that works. We're almost to that though. Man, this is way back here though. This should probably be, do I have a thing about this? I didn't. So this should be, have the population decide which research they are helping depending on their work, their preferred work, and something called interests. And we'll do that. We got to add that to the county population, which I swear to God I typed in something about interests earlier today. This needs to be over here. So back to this thing. This needs to be run per county. I keep doing this. So we'll go. We probably should break this kind of down more instead of everything being smushed into this hours thing. This is going to be research. We need a research up here though. I think we need to rewrite all this crap because this is, like I said, getting pretty convoluted with these different public classes that don't really make very much sense. Because we have these like county, we should probably just be moving these all to like the correct, we should probably be moving these all to the correct, like this should be a county, there should be county stuff, there should be population stuff, and there shouldn't be worker research. It should just be those three. So the faction AI, county AI, and a population AI. And then all of these things would be in there. I was trying to break them out into little pieces so it'd be easier to find, but I don't think that's actually working. The other thing is like research is work, so it should be shoved in here, but it's not. So we have this one, and then apply hero research. I believe we did at the faction level. Nope, sorry, faction level. Apply hero research. So this research, yeah, I feel like this increase, we didn't do this now though. This is a public class, so it's never going to run on its own. This is going to increase researchers' research. This should be ran. We have to pass in a county population. Where's that being done? Are we using this anywhere anymore? Oh, it's right here. Apply hero research. Okay, that's fine, I guess. And then remove researcher. Are we using this anywhere? Or did we break this? We probably broke this. Oh, no, I fixed it already. Fix some of it. Remove researcher from toggle box. We need a research in here. Research equals new. All right. So let's see. Whoops. I guess that doesn't really matter. I closed Twitch on my other monitor on accident. Like I said, I don't think it really matters. It still is going. I'm just not in my creator dashboard. I guess I should do that. All right, it's telling me I'm live. Good. That's good to know. All right. Man. So I guess we'll run this and see what happens because I feel like that what I just did was massive and catastrophic. Maybe catastrophic. There's faction and there's faction AI, which is confusing. We left something in here. So basically what I've just changed is when this is generated, it's probably broken before it could get to that part. There should be, oh, it didn't. These nodes are now controlling when the faction AI stuff is ran instead of that one thing that was just like a faction AI node that was going through all of them. All right, so we're gonna keep an eye down here. On things. I guess I'm just gonna click around for a minute here and we'll see what implodes. I guess what unpausing would make the things implode quicker. We have some like research should have happened. That's checking. I guess we can. I don't know if I have the word research in here. Hopefully. I think that's the whole goal of doing these public classes this way is that they're decoupled, as they say, from the code, and you can assign them and move things around easier without things like if you change one line and the whole game breaks. Now it will break, but we won't know it, and that's what we want. What is happening there? What is this? Add player research to UI. We don't need that to say that anymore. We could just get rid of that whole thing. That's part of the problem with it. I mean, it's supposedly better, but I'm only half know what I'm talking about with this particular thing. All right, 1/3 now, but it's supposedly better because of the decoupling part. But it's really hard to figure out issues. All right, so the AI faction's doing something there, which is what we want. AI faction 2. Wasn't that AI faction 2 down here? Oh, right, they have different more counties. It's kind of a bummer now that I think about it, though. It's going to go through the counties in order, in some not random order, but as they're like run, and it's going to try to assign them not by need So basically, if the faction doesn't have enough money to build a bunch of shit, it's just going to kind of randomly assign which ones get hit first by the program running. I can't tell. No, it's not alphabetical. It's how fast it runs, which is just some random. It's not random, but it's. Um, let's see. Uh, it's just how fast it runs. Basically, it's gonna do a bunch of shit at the same time, and then whatever gets done first, depending on the C sharpness. We need a GD print here just to make sure this is working. First name. It is because it will, and that's one of the things that like is a problem with, not a problem, that's a part of programming is knowing that to expect them to run at different speediness, and it might always run the same way, like 99% of the time. So if you count on it, you're like, oh, well, it always runs in this order, so I'm gonna just make sure that it works. That's the correct way, the correct order that I want it to run in. But then that 1% of the time it runs in a different order is when it's gonna mess you up. And also when I export it and it's not being run from inside Godot, it's gonna run at a different order, most likely. We're gonna put this here. I don't really know why it is in a different order. I've definitely encountered it before where I was like, probably when I was generating. So there's a way you can do where it waits. It says, okay, don't do this until this other thing's done. And that's not how, it's kind of how it is. It's kind of hard to explain, especially with my limited knowledge. So you can do it async where like it waits. But I've definitely encountered it where I've been like, oh, this is working great. This is exactly where I want it. And then later I'm like, why is this different now? And it just suddenly is different. And then it dawned on me I had to rearrange. All right, so let's see what that GD print gives us. Because it should assign every hero. Every faction should get it assign their hero to research the same thing right now because it's dumb. And that should happen immediately, I believe. It's not immediate. It's going to be right after I unpause it. We need to get to that first hour there. After that, it should be. So here's the thing. I don't know if I want that to happen right off the bat. I think so, like back to the order thing, if we go to like this order is with the order it will go through. It's going to start at this one and then it's going to go to that one and then it's going to that one. But the thing is, like with the counties, I'm telling all of the counties, so it will do this one first and this one and this one, but I'm telling all the counties at the same time, do this. So that's when the order gets weird. But it shouldn't matter. I don't think this person, these. No, it did work. and they're all researching the same thing. I don't know why I'm so worried about it. I just am. What was the thing I just said that I didn't like? Um, it was, oh, that these guys start doing this right off the bat. How does that look under my research, my faction research? You know, I think they're researching, they're adding their, what are we adding this to? Basic storage. See, this is how, this is, it doesn't even matter. Basic storage is already done. Uh, there's a lot going on with programming, you know, and I only know so much. That's why it's nice when there's someone who's more knowledgeable than me in chat. They can be like, they can go, no, this is how it works. You're sort of there. Um, uh, so I've noticed the more you know about something, and this is pretty obvious to everyone, I think. The more you know something, the easier you can explain it, you know, in a layman's level. Back to the copy machine things, because when I used to work in the copy world, not coffee, copy world, I could explain so much copy machine stuff that they wanted me on the sales team because they were always like, "Oh my God, you know so much, and you can just explain it to the average." And I'd be like, "No, I don't want to be a copy machine salesman." Uh, you ever seen that movie? God, what is the name? It's a David Brin book with Kevin Costner, The Postman. The Postman it's a sci-fi movie that was quite bad, and the book's really good. The bad guy in that is a copy machine salesperson before the apocalypse. Anyways, I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me throw up my break timer. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Is that the character's name? Is Josh Howley? Um, let's see. Got to start my music that you guys can't hear, and for some reason it's gotten really loud. All right, let's see here. Let's see. So that all seems to be working somehow. So let's go back to what we were doing. Idle workers need to be ran more frequently. So the reason that caused all of this chaos was now we're running it at the end, and that seems to be working. No, my last name's Cook. My last name is Cook. A simple, boring last name. But no, I wouldn't want to sell. I'm pro apocalypse, but I wouldn't want to sell coffee machines. It would be awful. I actually was thinking about that like yesterday, how I went to train some people how to use a coffee machine, and the sales guys had lied to the people that they had sold the coffee machine to and said that it could print, Linux could print to it with just plug and play, and that was not true. And this is like 20 years ago. So Linux was much more difficult to use, and like I had to take the complaints, the anger, because the salespeople had lied to them. It's just a nightmare, salespeople. All right, this should, yeah, we'll leave this for the next round. I guess. Um, let's see how this works now. And this will be a good test. We got to keep an eye on these bugs, though. Um, let's actually just restart this. Let's just stop that. And we'll see. So we got rid of the 5 o'clock thing. It should all be happening in the morning now. So let's keep an eye on this. Everybody's idle, this is correct. Let's put a county improvement into the build queue here. Let's unpause it. Let's check immediately. And these people are scavenging. These people are building the Fisher's Shack for the next day. So they're still idle today, but they're not set as idle workers because they're not idle. Except for this unhelpful person. And then we gotta wait. Let's speed this up. Whoops. Okay, let's close the game. We'll speed this up to 4. Oh, I think I was able to click on that when that screen was open. It kind of half. There we go. So now a day has passed. Everyone's, oh, I didn't set people to build. Let's let this run. They should start generating, I was going to say they should start generating resources here. Okay, something weird. No, it set them for idle for today. That's correct. And then they should be working again. But it says scavenging the next day when it shouldn't. So let's put like each little bug that we find, because there's going to probably be a bunch of them. It says the next activity is scavenge when it should say idle when they are currently scavenging. This is a problem. Yeah, the people that we sold it to, or because the company that I work for sold it to, were ready when I walked in for the training to train them to ambush me, because they knew the salespeople had lied to them, And the salespeople could have just warned me, and I could have looked into it ahead of time. I mean, the internet existed back then, and I could have at least had some knowledge. But and you know, when I deal with salespeople from the other side of buying stuff, everything they say is always lies. Uh, okay. Oh, we got a bug here. Oh, it's this weird handle not initialized thing, which I still don't know. It's intermittent. Maybe it's because of the order, the thing I was talking about earlier. We got to set a county improvement going. So then at 1, it should have these 5 people. Well, it would have been just Unix before that. And I, you know, up until recently, I was still calling stuff Unix. People are like, you know there's like no, like they haven't called it Unix in forever. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, and they're like, it's always been Linux now. And I was like, okay. So this is right. So then the day should roll over. And we're going to check after 5 o'clock here. So 5 o'clock hasn't done anything. So that worked. And then now this is correct, except that we need to check. We're going to put that in here too. I think I already have this. We need to make it so that they can do the math ahead of time. Check for to see if building will be done for the next day to assign next activity. So it needs to look ahead and do the math and be like, hey, is this work going to be finished? And so yeah, no, it's strange when you think about like BBSs and stuff that were so important. I had a BBS for years. I think the idle workers thing is working now. So let's take this off. From what I've noticed, the idle workers thing is now working. So this is done. And this scavenge thing is the same. It's kind of the same. A bulletin board system, they were like pre-internet things you could with a dial-up modem, you could call someone's computer and connect to it and like post messages and stuff. You could chat too on some of them, but generally it was just posting messages. Pre www, yes, pre www, yeah. World Wide Web, yeah. So for this, for the scavenging thing, we're kind of back to this work thing, which is kind of where we were yesterday. Complete scavenging per person. When is this running? Workday over for population. Okay, so this goes through everybody's thing, and if their scavenging is set to scavenging, and then it should update idle though. Workday over for population. And we saw the things happening. We saw these getting generated, so we know that works. We also need to put in this skill check in here. Update next. Wonder why that's not. That didn't happen though. Not in that order. Oh, wait. When does it check this? Complete scavenging per person. So it goes through every person. Workday over for population. This should be being called under county. And it's hitting population hour 0. Hour 0. So it does this first. I like enums. Enums is like my favorite thing. My favorite word. Void is good too, just because void. Dependency injection. I don't like that because I never can remember it, and it is a weird. When I looked up some of the tutorials on it, people were like, "Don't. The name is off-putting. Don't worry." So this is happening. It's very convoluted, though, how this goes here, then goes back. But this isn't, I don't think this is happening. Did I restart this? Yeah, so right now, so for the first day at hour 1, it acts like it's so this is set to that, and then at the end of this day, before it does anything, it's going to happen too fast for us to like click and stop it. We can speed this up. Yeah, it still says scavenge. Oh, I know why. Because they put his idle. It sets him as idle, then the next thing it checks is like, hey, is there any work to be done? And then it puts him on scavenge again. Does it happen every day, though? Because we could live with them just doing it every day. I put it... See, now they're idle, though. That's very strange. So I was going to have it every other day, but it's actually fine if they're scavenging every day. But this is weird why... So there's something weird with this. If the current activity equals scavenge, just double checking that these are the same. So let's think about as this goes through. Now, all the easy stuff we did yesterday is now having its repercussions with the other things we've changed, and also the major change that it did with the hours thing. So this is idle. Current activity, if their current activity equals scavenge. Okay. If their current activity, it's not even getting to there yet. I need to put a thing in to turn that off so it doesn't pop up every day. Okay, so their current activity equals scavenge. It's going to change their next activity to idle. And we need this so that it checks every day. Otherwise, they'll just scavenge forever. And that's part of the problem. Is we need to set this to idle. So it runs through. So something's going wrong in the county level. No, in the population AI hour 0. Workday over for population. That's what we were just looking at. Adjust population activity. It's got to be something in here. No, we're getting rid of the 5 p.m. thing. We're just going to get rid of that completely. And I think I got rid of it. I think. All right, so all this does is change their next activity, their current activity, next activity. So this should have been... So this should have been, because we set their next activity, let's make sure, complete scavenging per person. Their next activity is set to idle. So back to this thing. See how many different things I have to jump through to get here, though? So their next activity should be idle. And this checks if their next activity is idle and their loyalty is true and they're not unhelpful. So and so is idle, they're added to the possible list. So we go check for idle, check for preferred work, does this crap. Check for any work, which there aren't any accounting improvements, so this should just not do anything. Check for scavenging food. Scrap before scavenge. Where's this number? Oh, this is one at the top. And this is the amount. So what is this doing, though? It says enough stored. This will set it everybody, but we probably wanted to check, see how low the food is. Enough stored. This is updating the next activity. This is some weird convoluted shit too. So at that point, it would have checked for both those things, and then it counts. If next activity equals idle and these things are true, which it should have done. It should have put that as idle, but then why doesn't it kick over? Let's look at this output down here. Where's all my idle people? Here they are. This is way back here. We want to look for Portland. It's weird because that works like basically correctly, and then we go to the next day, and then it stops work, and they're set to idle. And it shouldn't be. I think I missed something. There's something that's still running somewhere when I was updating. So it completes the scavenging. What's this? Check for work complete. For each county, this is wrong. We don't do it this way anymore. Maybe this is part of our problem. For each county, it goes through the whole list and it says it checks if their current construction is being built, and it sets up next. If their current construction is true, it's only going to check this if their current construction is set to something. So if it's null, it won't do this. It will just stop. I'm making sure there is no more of those. Let's go back to... I wonder if there was like the research thing. Probably pin that. Research shouldn't go through any counties anymore. I wonder if it was that one thing was throwing it off. Because it was going through every county. Every county was going through every county. I feel like that shouldn't have thrown it off, but maybe it was doing it twice. 1 o'clock. All these people are on scavenge. I don't need this. Yeah, it was. It was. All these people are on scavenge. And then in the morning, yeah, these people are back to idle. You know, I did have some weird thing I put in here. Well, it wasn't weird at the time. It was under county population. It was this. So this changes their idle. We don't need these in here. These are county improvements, though. And this is construction, and that's research. This is setting their next things to idle. You know what we could do is, well, I guess that's not gonna, we could search for this. I mean, we know when it's happening, so it's not like, I was gonna say we could also do it. What is this? So this is only checking the heroes list, so it shouldn't affect. Oh, that's that weird thing. That other weird thing. This is update current. It says that there's two things referencing this. Select token. The fuck are you doing? Show it to me. Can I just click on you? Update current activity. This is for when you have a spawn token, though, which is a whole different. Oh, it's doing it with. Oh, right. So this is for when you start moving your spawn token if they were researching before they get out of there. So this shouldn't have any effect. Token movement. We're still in token movement here. Yeah, it's nothing there. Activity equals Yes. I think I need to go back to that one thing. I think there's something wrong with how this is. Go back over here. With this, complete scavenging per person. So the key with this is so that it knows what does check work complete do? This actually only checks construction. Let's rename this. Check construction complete. Workday over for population. And this doesn't do anything. Oh, we actually, this can't be at this spot. This would have to be up here somewhere. It would have to be somewhere else, I think. Like up above. So complete scavenging per person. If their current activity is scavenging, it sets it to idle. That's the only important thing that we need to know. And that works. So then it goes, so once again, let's go down this list. Complete building. If they're not equal to null, it should be equal to null. So that's not going to fire for these scavengers. Check construction, complete building per person. Wait, what does this do? Their building is done. Do I have two of these things? This is completing building. And this is also... Okay, I see what it's doing. Okay, no, that's fine. We don't give a shit about that. So this all runs correctly. So this happens first. Work over. And we're doing that here. But maybe we should be doing it in the other spot. Let's put this up here, or wherever this was. Let's put this up here. Oh, except we would have to pass in county, or we don't have a county. We could get one. It's right there. I mean, we could go county data. County node. Get out of here. County ID, check for building county improvements. This doesn't affect any population though. Yeah, that doesn't affect population, so that's fine. This is so fucking convoluted now. I've made it worse. So the county hits, each county is going to do this. It's going to check for the building improvements. under the county AI. That kind of makes sense. That there would be the county would check the county AI. Population research. But that doesn't affect any manual, any activities. It just does it. So back to here. Workday over. We want to go to hour 0. Adjust. Yeah, we took that out of there. Then check for work, which is this big long thing. Check for idle is this one where it adds them to the list. And this should be idle because it's setting it, but then it's immediately going to go through this list and adjust them to be scavengers. It just, we need it to be idle so that they check to try to build a new building or whatever if there's one available. I wonder if it's just like happening at the wrong time. Let's speed this up here. I wonder if it's because I moved that thing, it might work. I know, it's always something weird with that. It's back to that same thing. No, it's still doing it. But then it sets the next day. Maybe I have something weird in. There's got to be something that is firing off. See, these should be. I feel like maybe it's one of those things. Like these shouldn't be assigning nulls to anything, but maybe they're getting updated somehow. This is all token movement stuff. I remember one time this was not searching all of Visual Studio wasn't searching my whole project. That's just when they're getting assigned to something. When they're being created. And we're going like in reverse. So I think it's got to be like one of these county population things. One of these getter setters have to be like one of the constructions is getting set to null somewhere. It's like going through and set like what's this doing? So there should be nothing there. He's not gonna know. um, next construction. It's too in the weeds for someone else to be able to look at it. They might have a suggestion how to troubleshoot it. Um, I wonder too, it could be something. Oh, this person's preferred work is scavenge. Uh, I bet you if let's test this. There's an easy way to test this. We can go through and we can take out this and this. This, it shouldn't, the research should never be being adjusted by the normal population shouldn't be getting adjusted the research, but it's probably one of these things where next work or something is being set as null, and that's setting them to idle. Speed this up to 8 here. All right. And no, that didn't do it. I wonder if it's something like, what is my, that's the population row button. What do I have under my activities? Current test activity. All right, I was thinking maybe I had this typed in as idle and it was just not filling it in. It's not that many though. There's only like 2, and that's the problem that I can't figure out why. If I had like a bunch, I could just start. And it wasn't these ones. So I can put these back. If I could only figure out a way to like have what is what is changing, if it could tell me somehow what is changing what script is changing a variable. But I think I know what script's doing it. It's when it sets these to idle. I mean, I guess we could test that too. That's under county, workday over for population, complete scavenging, sets this to idle. Let's just take this out and see if it happens. Now they should just be scavenging forever. No ending to the scavenging. All right. And then if this changes, then we know that there's something else that's really... Okay, we just have a bunch of unhelpful people. Yeah, they're going to be eternally scavenging now. And we're on day 3. Yeah, now they're eternally scavenging. So it has something to do with this. I mean, this has been the problem the whole time. It's passing in, so it sets them idle, but then why don't they get... Why is it keeping them as idle? It doesn't do it the first 2 times. Or, I mean, why isn't it resetting them when they go through? Complete scavenging per person. Workday is over. And then we can do hour 0. Adjust their activity. That's what I just commented out, all this stuff in there. We can look again, see if there's any other... We can just look for this. In this thing. Yeah, those are the 3 things I commented out a second ago. And then it didn't do anything. It's got to be this order. So it goes through workday over for population. And we know that that sets it to idle. Then it goes to the next thing. Complete building. For each person in the county population, if their construction is not equal to null. So everyone's construction should be null, but what happens if it's not? Maybe there's like something weird going on there. Current construction. I think I can put a question mark here, right? On the other side, I think. How's it gonna work? If this is blank, then it is null. Okay. Rainbow print's pretty good, but we're gonna get a bazillion of those. They're gonna pop out like constantly. So then with this, if their current construction, which is what we're checking up here, it's gonna be all it's gonna be all rainbows. So we're checking this up here. Maybe it's something weird like count idle has a thing that makes it. Nope. All right. So work. We went through all of the check, give people the idle bonus, whatever. So then back to our population AI. Check for idle. This doesn't actually assign anybody to anything, like it's not assigning them. Check for preferred work. All right, so this is gonna check. Well, let's run this, see if there's this construction thing. Did I save that? I don't think it's the construction thing, but maybe there is some weird construction that would appear on day 3. Maybe the AI is assigning on construction or something. You go faster than this. Nope. Let's look on our 1,000. Oh, well, yeah, these are all blank, so I wonder if I can just put a null in here. Yeah, so there's no construction. There's a construction assigned here. MK Security. Thank you for the follow. How's your day going? These people are probably AI people, though. I should have put their name in here. Or their county, actually, because we don't care about anything except their what county they're in. Let's do. Oh, that'll be a huge pain in my ass, though. I mean, I could get it, but it's not that important. I think that that's right, though. So back to this cluster. Adjust check for work. There's got to be an easier way to figure out what is causing this. So something has to, so let's think about the order. It has to be after it adjusts the county population. Because if it was happening before that, it wouldn't. So it just has to be in here. We already know it's not that one. We looked at preferred work before. There's nothing that's being like setting him to idle though in here. Unless I have some weird. Well, the only thing that even says idle is that these two things in this whole document. Uh, and that's a check thing, not a equals. Let's go through this one more time. No, current project. And I don't think they have a construction thing, even though that wasn't a very good GD print there. Complete scavenging. So it looks to me, I wonder, what we could do. Is to try to narrow this down a little bit here. I wonder if it's doing that thing again where it's not searching. How did I fix that? All of the documents, and there's some other thing running that's assigning this. Because that's what last time I got held up like this. That's what was happening. Is there was when I was searching my current project, it actually wasn't searching my whole project, and I found that was like a regular bug. Because the only things that are setting it to idle are the things in county population that we turned off. Well, I'd have to search all of the different files. Can you do that with Notepad? I actually think I did like a find replace with no. I don't think I have Notepad plus plus on here, but I can install it. I think I did that a long time ago with Notepad. Let's see here. Notepad search all files in folder. In all files in a folder. Let me look at how to fix this. Visual Studio. Not searching all files. Let's see here. I remember it was actually pretty easy to quit or to fix. No, it wasn't that thing. There was like I had to delete something. You can see that. um, I think this is where I went. I currently in a file. Reaper, how's it going? Uh, Yeah, I remember I was helping somebody with a program ages and ages and ages ago without knowing any programming experience, and I was like, I did a thing where I just I think it was with Notepad plus plus, just took the code and just found replace everything in a file because they wanted like to change the name of something. All right, we're gonna get drastic here. Let's close this. This might not even be the solution to this problem. Let's close this. But I did like rename a bunch of shit. Um, yeah, we'll close that. And you know, there was an update for Visual Studio this morning. Or was that last night? It was one of the either this morning or last night. And then everything started acting all strange. Certain stuff didn't work. And um, certain stuff had changed. This is like a week ago. There was an update, and certain stuff had changed. And then there was an update this morning or whatnot. And I haven't seen if I'll show you what I was talking about. There's a messages. Well, actually, I won't show you anything. It doesn't matter. Let's open this up. I think I have to recreate the solution, but it isn't actually that big of a deal on Godot. Reaper SQL 2000. I haven't used SQL in forever. Except I guess for work there's an SQL thing on MySQL for the website. Godot is a gaming engine. Okay, so this opened up and the colors look right. They do not look right. Let's close this thing. Let's open. That's usually how I tell if things are working right. We might have to go. Well, we can do is we can hit play and see if it implodes. EU5, huh? You know, when I looked into that I before I picked Godot, and it was gigantic. That I could not believe the size of Unreal Engine. It was huge. It was bigger than Unity. It was like 10 times the size of Unity. Uh, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to after the Unity debacle. I didn't want to use the a proprietary software like that that's owned by a company. I wanted open source stuff. So what was I looking for here? All enums. I don't think this is right. I don't. I don't. So, I think there's still, it's not quite. Uh, activities, idle. There's a guy who comes on sometimes. His name's Bit something. Yeah, this is not right. Let's fix this. There's a way to fix this because it's not. It's only searching that one thing. You can. I gotta remember where this is. It's right here. There we go. Change case filters. What is the name of that guy's name? Anyways, he makes like a ton of things. Um, Tons of models. His models. Making some voxel game. Um, so what? Let me fix this thing here. Whoops, not there. Projects. This should be 8. And what is this? New intro. Okay, that was just a thing because it, for some reason, Godot on my computer always defaults to 6, and I have to change it for every new project. So all enums dot activities dot idle. I think it's idle. There we go. We're getting this to search now. No, I think we want this to be like this. To be set to the whole word in the case to match, because it's got to be this case, I guess. Yeah, it's an enum, so it has to be that case. And we're back to our county population here. We already checked this. What's this? No, we checked this. That we don't care about. Assign research. That's the other equals to token movement. I mean, it shouldn't ever run this unless the token spawned. I don't know where it would get that. I mean, I'm trying to think, like, is it possible that this is running somehow on all of the county population? It would have to be running on where here's the work one. Maybe this is being run twice. It should only be in one spot. You know, the one spot is getting called. And that looks like it. Here, we can go to here. So I don't have to type anything. You know, we could change this filter to entire solution. Speaking of filters. Back to token movement. None of these are... This isn't even bringing up the right thing. There should be a thing that's not open right now. We are going to have to use... Now, I got to fix this issue. It's... Where's the thing where we set our token... Oh, it was right there. Maybe this is just as it. That's just it. What's a word that's in something that's not open? Like, what's a strange word that I use somewhere? Skill description. Now I don't know if it was. I think it was lowercase s. Okay, so it is bringing up stuff from closed things. So what the hell? It's got to be one of these like few things. I really wish I could somehow tell it what the name of a script, because it's supposedly this is where it's happening. But it's going to happen every time. So I guess the other thing it could be doing is it could be setting those idle correctly, but it could be not assigning them to scavenging correctly. So let's I didn't double check that, I don't think. That's going to be under count or population AI. It could be one of these weird things. These are very strange too. Like I should have had this return a bool. Like I don't know why I did it this weird way. I think I wrote this like last weekend. This might be our problem. It should be. But it would never. No, this wouldn't work all the time then. I don't know how long I've been streaming for. Over 3 hours. I'll probably call it a day here and let my brain, because I have no clue why this is another one. And then you know what happens is I take a nap and then I come back to it and then it pops in my head when I wake up. I go, oh shit, it's this. Or I think of a better way to test it. Mm. You know, they are scavenging stuff, so it would, but it shouldn't bring. I want this whole thing. It shouldn't bring. It shouldn't. Nullable. You're gonna have to explain. I'm a noob. Um. Um. Enough stored. We're not actually. We don't have that many things setting to scavenge. In fact, they're set originally. They're all set to idle when they're created. I think. So this is the thing. These are the only two things that sets them to scavenge. Is this? Well, it's enough stored. But these are the two things that test. That's a good thing to check, though. That's under county. That's under. County population generation. Let's double check. I mean, well, no, we know that so it works for 2 days and then it stops working. But yeah, there's their setting to idle. Like, what else changes in 2 days? I feel like it's the order of something gets changed. Because it works. So we're all idle there. They're set the next day. And let's speed this up. See, this is working as intended. And then, I'm going to check after 5 because we did have that thing. Okay, that works. Waffle, how's it going? Then here is where it goes bad, and they're all set to idle again. And that's after it does all the checks and stuff. And for a while that was fine. And there was like an after work thing, which I felt like it was I do. I'm using GitHub, but that's not going to help me because it wasn't working. Like I've rewritten like there's something. So yesterday we had a different event that was firing that I got rid of because I don't want to do it. I changed how I do it. Um, I can search on GitHub though for. Did I already search for this? I did. Okay. I was thinking maybe it was getting run twice or something. But why would it change after 2 days? What changes after 2 days? Nothing. They're all supposed to fire the same. And I deleted a bunch of shit out of the clock. So let's look at the clock here. Um, if hour equals 0, day 0, in hours, so that's how that should be. What happens if it is? This is my theory now. What happens if it is just some? These aren't happening quite in the right order. Uh, maybe 2 days in when it's time to do. Um, I don't know if you can. I search for a word. Activities. No. Hmm. So the first day, let's think about that. The clock goes. Now this happens after. So the time starts at 1. So this only happens like at the. But that's a good idea. We have first run running. Maybe I have something like first run, something else weird. Uh, where's my population AI? Hour 0. But this is fired by the county. I should start pinning this stuff again. The county is firing. So this is the 1 o'clock. We could turn this off to test it, but I don't think it's that. Um, I feel like it's one of these things is running like in a weird order. That's which is why I moved this out of the hour 0 to up to here, this other population hour 0. Well, I think I'm going to call it a day. Like I said, every time I stop working on something, it pops in my head the easiest way to fix something. If next activity is, see, I also feel like it's be something like I have current activity being set. Current activity shouldn't be being set anywhere, but let's look besides here. This should be the only spot. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a day here. I'm just gonna do current activity. Yeah, we don't have. Oh, I was like, wait, here, no. But you know what we should do here is, real quick, go back to this thing. Are you searching? No, it was called update current. Update current. Oh, I looked at this though. It was select token. I wonder if there's some weird thing with select token. I don't know. I'm gonna call it a day. Debug it with Godot. What do you mean when you say that? Oh, like what was that called? Breakpoint? I actually haven't gotten that to work with Godot. I think I'm 99% positive. That it can be used. The problem is that we know when it's happening. It's just not in the order. Like there's so many. What I should do is rearrange, since I just made all these changes and pointed all these things at different spots. The only thing that updates current is this thing. They're all updating next. Which is what we want. Though I was saying that we probably need to change that with the new way things are working. And this is just when, yeah, this is movement and combat and stuff. Yeah, I'm calling it a day. Next weekend, or I'll probably figure it out. Like I said, this has happened every time that I've had like a thing that's ground me to a stop, is because it's weird that this is dark green. There we go. I just need my brain to take a break. Thank you though for the MK Lord or Lord Mac waffle. I'm missing somebody. I don't know. Thank you for the troubleshooting suggestions. I was saying earlier, Lord Mac was like, maybe someone else can help you, and I was like, they can't help me except for troubleshooting ideas. Like it's hard because of the because of the spaghetti. It's quite difficult to figure that out. But that with ideas for troubleshooting is always helpful. I will figure this out though. Now I'll just give up. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you guys. I will talk to you next time.